Hi, it's Susan Sparks of ASAP Writing Services here with just a quick free training to help business owners and entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of business owners, coaches, entrepreneurs who really struggle with being able to communicate that value. And so they're really having trouble finding clients or getting prospects to get interested. And so I wanted to just do a quick training on the very basic way to communicate your value. And that is what I call your simple 60-second starter. I want you to be able to maximize every opportunity, whether it's a weekly networking event that you attend, maybe it's just unique ones that pop up every now and then, or whether it's in person or virtual. There's a lot of online networking and masterminding going on. So again, it's just like any other networking event. You've only got just a small moment of time to communicate the value that you provide. And we all kind of freeze when we get in these situations. It's a room full of new people. Maybe it's even people that you see every week, and so you're kind of running out of things to say to them that you feel like maybe they haven't heard before. But let's think about this, is all those people are thinking the same thing this guy, the caveman, is thinking, is what's in it for me? And that is programmed deep into our DNA. If we hadn't had that programmed way back in his time, we wouldn't be here today. Everything goes through what I call the caveman filter. Your audience, your listener is going, well, what's in it for me? And that's great, but also remember, it can backfire a little bit. People are looking at us, it's a room full of maybe strangers, and it's our turn to talk. And gosh, we didn't listen to the last 5 people ahead of us because we were too busy. Oh, what am I going to say? And I don't know, I got to be clever. And so we start to open our mouth, and what comes out is I've been in business for 20 years, or I'm a landscaper, or a realtor, or a hairstylist, or a coach. And pretty soon your audience is gone, because what did they hear? They heard the word I. And when it wasn't about them, they've tuned you out. So even if they're trying to be polite and listen and hang in there with you, you've really lost them when you start with that. So I want to help you with some of the right words to use, let you know why they're effective, and that way you can be intentional every time you stand up, come online, whatever it is that you share your message. So the first great opener is, who do you know? So this is what we call implied relationship words. If you're doing any kind of background in NLP, an implied relationship word means I've brought you into the conversation. And so we perk up. Who do I know? Well, now we feel important. You want my input. And so it's easier for the listener to think of someone specific for you instead of, I do landscaping. Well, okay, so what? But that landscaper says, who do you know that just built a new house and they don't have anything in the front yard? Well, now it's much easier for me to think of someone. And that turns out to be a better connection for you. Another one would be a realtor. A lot of times I hear, I help people buy or sell their home. Well, great. We all know that about a realtor, but I can't really think of anyone specific. But if you say, who do you know that just had a baby and now they want a bigger home? Or who do you know that just had their last child graduate and they want to downsize? I can now go through all the people I know much easier. It's not this vast audience that I have to think of. And I can probably come up with someone specific that might be a good referral for you. So help your listener by narrowing that search of who do they know so that they can help you. So remember, to make it more effective, go narrow, be very specific. And this works really great if you go to something that meets maybe weekly or such, because each time you can educate your audience a little more. So stay very narrow. Again, don't say, who do you know that's having a baby? Who do you know that's downsizing? Who do you know that's moving to town because of a new job? Save each one of those. Concentrate on just one topic each time, okay? Make it easy for us to think for you. The next great opener is using a true story. And this is because we were raised on stories. It's a great way to educate people. We're much more engaged in listening if it's woven into a story, and it helps you avoid that I narrative. So make that more effective. Don't overhype, and certainly, keep it brief. You've got 60 seconds. You just want to set the scene of maybe how you helped someone or a challenge that they overcame by the services that you provide. You don't have to go into great detail with that. So keep that very brief and just tie again into that one service or product. Jim and Diane were moving to town. They only had 3 weeks before he had to start his job. I helped him find a house in the right neighborhood, that kind of thing. Now I've got some idea of how you help. You find the right neighborhood, you help them do it quickly. And so that's much more engaging than I'm a realtor and I help people buy or sell homes. The next one is third-party factual data. So I'll throw a little third-party in at you. You're sitting at a network event, and I'll say probably 95% of the people are too busy worried about what it is they're gonna say, so it's tough to get their attention, right? So that's something that you could lead off with. But it also positions you as a helpful expert, and it kind of wakes me up. Oh my gosh, there's a problem. I didn't know that 75% of the population doesn't have an emergency fund, whatever that might be. And it helps create a sense of urgency so that you can present how you solve a problem without that buy from me message. So it really does still kind of put some urgency behind it when you use that. So to make that more effective, again, don't overhype and just name one way that you solve this problem. Don't overload with all your solutions like I can do. Sometimes insurance agents are umbrella and life and home and fire and casualty and blah, 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 blah. Well, now my mind's glazed over. But if it's how keep that tree limb from falling on my house, that's that one narrow specific thing that you can help me with that time. And the final one is a confirmation of an existing fear. So something like, yes, it's more difficult to have people open your emails anymore, or yes, it's harder to find a medical office that doesn't make mistakes with billing. Something with this that really kind of wakes us up again, and it creates unity with your audience too. So if you're in a group of marketing people and you start off with, wow, it's much harder than it was a year ago to get people to open emails, now you've got our attention and you can create that value and tell us about what it is. And again, just name one way that you can help solve this problem. You've only got 60 seconds. You just want to start this conversation. You want to arouse enough interest that they would want to follow up and talk with you more. So don't overload with all your solutions, because again, a confused mind doesn't buy. So if you rattle off 5 or 6 things that you can do, that's going to make them go, whoa, now I don't even know what I need. So keep it narrow. And again, if you want to make this even more effective, you can stack some third-party factual data with it or a story. So yes, it is tougher than a year ago to get people to open their email. And the Small Business Administration just said that 42% don't even check their email every day, or whatever kind of statistic that you have. So you can use that or create a story with it. Again, go narrow. You don't have to name everything that you do. It gets too confusing and then people don't remember. And I had mentioned this one time to, it was an actual insurance agent, and he had stood up and said all these things that he offered. And I said, after about the third one, my mind, glazed over, and I couldn't tell you any of the things that you do. So it's really helpful to hone in on that one specific problem, and then remember it's a conversation starter. Also, don't use jargon or acronyms or trendy buzzwords, because your prospect doesn't want to feel stupid, or maybe I don't know, I'm not well enough educated to even have a conversation with you. So they may feel intimidated. Now you've created a barrier. So yes, these are words that you use every day in your industry. You use them with your colleagues, but if you're trying to attract a prospect, use words that they're going to understand. You don't have to talk down to them, but just stay away from the trendy buzzwords and jargon if you don't have to. And you do that by mirroring their language. So for instance, if you're a wellness coach, a lot of times it's like, oh, I help people live a better lifestyle. Well, what is that? So again, you want to use what your prospects are out there using. So is that, can I sleep better at night? Can I lose 10 pounds without feeling hungry? Those are the words that you want to use, not vague, big umbrella terms. And that will help with that 60-second intro. You'll feel much more confident. You'll know what to say, and this works across any platform. So if you want more information on how to really fine-tune your marketing message, I do have another free training for you. It's the 5 fatal flaws and why prospects ignore your offer. And the link is right there. I will put that in the comments too with this video, but I thank you for watching and good luck at your next networking event. If you've got any questions, I'd love to help you out. And this is Susan Sparks. We'll talk to you later.